What is up, Janksters? It's your boy Graham, also known as HamHawks42 on the internet, and today we have a fun fight rigging deck in Explorer. I can't get enough of fight rigging. I think the card is absolutely fantastic, and this deck is no exception. It's just an absolute blast. Now, you'll notice the mana curve looks really awkward, and the main reason for that is because Keruga, the Macrosage, is our companion. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, Graham, wouldn't this work so much better if Keruga wasn't the companion and we had some early interaction? And the answer to that is yes. Yes, it would. But I love Keruga. I think the card is super duper fun, and we are cheating, much like we did with the Fires of Invention deck, where we do have early plays despite Keruga's restriction. Keruga says your starting deck contains only cards with mana value 3 or greater and lands. So that means we can't have 1-drops or 2-drops. However, adventurers get around this. So we do have Bonecrusher Giant, so we do have a 2-drop in Stomp, as well as Lovestruck Beast, where we do have a 1-drop in Heart's Desire, which gives us a 1/1 creature. So that's nice. We also have, and we're just loaded on 3-drops, is really the name of the game. We have a lot of 3-drops, as you can see, because we have these early interactions in Stomp and Heart's Desire, but other than that, we really need to get to 3 mana and do something. And so that's the plan. The plan is to do something on turn 3. We can throw a Shakedown Heavy. This puts a 6 power on the board on turn 3. You'll love to see it. Bonecrusher Giant itself puts 4 power, also good. We have Anger the Gods. If we're going up against aggro decks, we want to be able to wipe the board and stay alive. That's very, very helpful. Anger the Gods is pretty nice for that. That's why we have 3 of those. Then we have Fight Rigging itself. This is the main engine of the deck, and the reason that we have Shakedown Heavy, Bonecrusher, and Lovestruck Beast, which puts 5 power on the board, notably, all of them activate and make fight rigging tick very, very nicely and get us to pop it off on turn 4 or 5 very consistently, which is delightful. We love to see that, because fight rigging has this hideaway ability where you can sneak a card under it and it gets to do something later, and you get to free cast that card, and that card could be a Ziatora, the Incinerator, which is a 6-drop that flings high power creatures directly at any target, which is nice, and it gives us treasure for some reason. The card's nutty. It does a ton of great stuff. Could also be a Great Henge, which draws us cards, gains us life, and ramps us. Also great. We also have the Tarrasque, which notably, if the Tarrasque is cast off fight rigging, it is considered having been cast. So you do get the Ward 10 and Haste, which is fantastic. So then all of a sudden we have a 10 power creature that gets to eat a blocker before blockers are declared, you know, attacking the same turn as our fight rigging pops off, which could be as quickly as turn 4, like I said. So then that's going to spell defeat for our opponents in a lot of situations. And it could also be Ghalta, which is just a 12/12 trampler. And Ghalta is just huge. The other cool thing about having high power creatures in the deck is it also makes Ghalta and the Great Henge significantly cheaper. So even if we don't trigger them with fight rigging, we can still cast them reasonably. You know, because if we have Ghalta down, Great Henge is only 2, which is nice. Well, and actually, frankly, if we have most of our creatures in a fight rigging down, Great Henge ends up being 3 or 2 or 3 pretty consistently. So that's nice. And then finally, the last non-land card that I want to talk about, we also have Nullhide Ferox. Now, if you're not familiar with Nullhide Ferox, whatever you do, do not hit this with a Thoughtseize. You will regret it immediately. And that's part of the reason that it's in the deck, actually, because there are a lot of people running around with Thoughtseize that have never seen this card, which is just delightful. Now, Nullhide Ferox is a 6/6 hexproof for 4, and so I mean it's a 6/6 hexproof for 4. That alone is worth the price of admission. We've dropped fight rigging on turn 3, Nullhide Ferox on turn 4. Boom, fight rigging triggers on turn 4, and we're swinging with, or we have a 7/7 on board. We don't get to swing with it right away, but that's okay. And it's got hexproof. It also has the ability where you can't cast non-creature spells. So if we have a fight rigging in hand or a Great Henge, we will not be able to cast it if the Nullhide Ferox is online unless we activate its next ability, which is for 2. Nullhide Ferox loses all abilities until end of turn. Any player may activate this ability. So it effectively taxes our Great Henge and our fight rigging by 2, which is a little inconvenient, but not the end of the world. And then it also has this crazy ability on it, which is my comment about Thoughtseize. This is relevant why. If a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard Nullhide Ferox, put it onto the battlefield instead of putting it into your graveyard. In the case of Thoughtseize, your opponent gets to select what is discarded. So if they Thoughtseize you and choose the Nullhide Ferox, if they just see like a 6/6 hexproofer, like, oh no, gotta get rid of that, and choose it, it'll go to the graveyard and then boom, immediately to the battlefield, which is nice. Or no, sorry, it doesn't go to the graveyard at all. It just goes straight to the battlefield, which is pretty dope. If our opponent hits us with, say, Kroxa, or another discard effect like a Mind Rot style effect, we can just choose to discard the Nullhide Ferox, and our opponent made us discard a card. We chose the Ferox, therefore we just get it for free. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, we can do some cool things with that. The card is just really cool, and it's a 6-power 4-drop, which pairs nicely with fight rigging. And then Keruga themselves is a 5/4 for 5 that draws us cards for each. So draws us cards for each permanent we control with mana value 3 or greater. You'll notice all of our permanents, of course, have mana value 3 or greater. So there's a good chance Keruga is going to be able to draw us 4 or 5 cards in the late game. And I mean, if we haven't already won by then. Now, the main line that I really want to set up with this deck, I want to get a fight rigging down on 3, into a Nullhide Ferox on 4. Fight rigging into Nullhide Ferox or some other big creature. Shakedown Heavy is also perfectly acceptable. And under fight rigging, I want to get Ziatora, because what we can do is then Ziatora on the end, we attack with whatever the big thing is. Hopefully it connects. If it connects, we could then sacrifice whatever the big thing is, such as Nullhide Ferox, to Ziatora's ability, chuck it directly into our opponent's face. We get 3 treasures, and then we can also cast a Kazuul's Fury, which we have, from the treasures, and send Ziatora into our opponent's face if that's lethal. So we can actually go from dealing no damage or dealing very little damage in the early game to dealing like 18, 19 damage out of nowhere very, very quickly. And if one of those creatures in the mix is Ghalta, get out of here. Because, I mean, that's just all the damage. It's great. It's absolutely fantastic. So we're literally going to be flinging dinosaurs and huge beasts at our opponent's face. Special thanks to fight rigging making it all possible. So let's run this out onto the ladder and see what we can do. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, please hit that subscribe button below. It makes a huge difference to the channel, and you can hit the bell notification so you can see when other videos like this are posted. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you, and let's get to the gameplay. This actually looks like a pretty easy mull. We would have access to the Lovestruck Beast and Bonecrusher on 1 and 2, which is not nothing. But having Tarrasque in our hand is basically a dead card, and double Ziatora is also not great in our hand. This is looking significantly better. We ship 1 Ghalta. Actually, I mean, this still looks pretty rough because we need some other creatures, but we have a pretty decent amount of them, and I hate mulling past 6. So we're just going to hold on to that. We're going to go Stomping Grounds on 1. Hopefully Anger of the Gods is going to come in play on turn 3, and hopefully we draw into, I don't know, Bonecrusher, a Ferox, something good. We also don't have any black mana, which is potentially problematic. Land Elves. Well, there's okay, that'll do. That'll do. This can enter tapped. We Heart's Desire. And we'll have a Lovestruck Beast on 3, which makes Ghalta notably cheaper, so that's nice. I like that. Hardened Scales. Ooh, that makes me nervous. Hardened Scales with the Luminarch Aspirant? Never mind. Plan is off. We are not dropping a Lovestruck Beast this next turn. We are mobilizing Anger of the Gods. And Farewell Bell. We need to get that Luminarch Aspirant out of here. Sorry. Just what needs to happen. So our Lovestruck Beast is still going to be 5 power on the board, which we can fling at something. So that's not nothing, but unfortunately we will not be able to attack with it. But we have fight rigging. I like fight rigging. I like fight rigging a lot. I'm going to throw fight rigging here. I want to get that online first. Opponent also appears to be stuck on 2 lands, which is nice. I like to see that. Well, we have Ghalta. We have Ghalta. I like Ghalta. Ghalta's pretty good. Danto Vanguard chipping in for a little bit of damage. Sure. Ziatora's Proving Grounds. That gives us the black mana source we needed. Also helps ramp us up because, yeah. Next turn, so this turn we buff up Lovestruck Beast to a 6/6. That cuts off the Adanto Vanguard attack, which is pretty nice. And then the following turn we buff up Fight Rigging again, and to get free Ghalta, our opponent was stuck on 2 lands. They didn't want to see where that went. We were gonna have Ghalta next turn. Would have been nice. We would have had Ghalta like 2 different ways. It's pretty good. All right, let's move on to the next game. How much do we think our opponent is running discard? Or how much do we want to bet our opponent's running discard? If they force to discard, this hand is gorgeous. If they don't, this hand is dog crap. You know what? I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it hope. Crocs on 2. Come on, show me Crocs on 2. Blue so far. That's not good. Mill. No. Or is this mill? I don't know. Hey, fight rigging. I'll take that. I'll absolutely take that. Our opponent looking at our companion, wondering who the heck plays Keruga. That's fair. That is mill. Yep. Okay. That's fine. Oh, but they're milling themselves. Vizier of Many Faces. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. Otherworldly Gaze, great card, highly underrated. So Vizier of Many Faces says it enters the battlefield as a copy of a creature on the battlefield. Except if Vizier of Many Faces was embalmed, the token is no mana cost, its whiteness is zombie in addition to other types. Interesting. Shakedown Heavy is not bad, but we need lands. We need a third land untapped. If we hit a third land untapped, we go rigging into Shakedown Heavy, and we're just fine. If we get a third untapped land. If we don't, we're sunk. Again, unless our opponent makes us discard. But they're running a Azorius self-mill, so it's probably not going to happen. This is looking like a combo. This is looking like they're trying to set up some kind of combo with Vizier of Many Faces. Tarrasque, that was actually actively the worst card we could have drawn there. Like, without a doubt. Actually, I think that was, like, 100% the worst card we could have drawn there. Like, any way you slice it. They could also just be trying to self-mill into Thassa's Oracle. Refurbish or give it to the battlefield. There's an artifact reanimation? Huh. Okay. That's actually a really cool card. I like that. Land. Show me land. Ziatora. Another terrible card for us to draw in this context. All right. Last game, we won to our opponent getting mana screwed. This game, it looks like we are going to lose to getting mana screwed. I hate it when that happens. It was a greedy keep. I know this was a greedy keep. I shouldn't have done this. I should not have kept this hand. This was a super greedy keep. It's not uncommon in Arena when I'm like, you know, as long as we draw this, it'll be fine. If I say that with a hand, it's not fine. We need to ship it. Champagne of Wits. When it enters the battlefield, you may draw cards equal to its power if you do exile or discard 2 cards. Good stuff. Good card. Pfft. I said untapped land. I said untap. I said consummate V's. All right. A joke is for other 30 somethings out there. All right. And all my Homestar Runner fans, let me know in the comments below if you got that joke. All right. Refurbish Godfarrow's Gift. You may exile a creature card from your graveyard. Create a token that's copy of it except 4/4 and it gains haste. Are we dead? Given how many hoops our opponent jumped through, we better be dead. Oh, nice. And the Vizier of Many Faces comes back. It's an additional combat stuff. That's actually really cool. Our opponent did something really neat here. I like it. So what they're doing is they're using Godfarrow's Gift to bring back Vizier of Many Faces, which is coming back as a copy of Combat Celebrant. And they can exert the Combat Celebrant to get additional combat steps. That actually was really neat. So our opponent actually has some really cool jank going on there, and it worked against us because we got mana screwed, to be fair, but still, like, they were able to pull it off, and it actually fired faster than I would have guessed. So good stuff. Good work, opponent. Yeah, props. All right, let's go on to the next game. The Tarrasque's kind of a dead card in our hand. So, I mean, actually in this deck, the Tarrasque is a dead card in our hand. Period. We don't have any ramp pieces to get up to it. Like, we need to get it under fight rigging, or it's kind of just a dead draw. So that's a bummer. However, Bonecrusher Giant is cash money, and Anger of the Gods in the right situation can be disgusting. All right, land out of Sanctity. We can't Bonecrush face. Mildly annoying, not the end of the world. Because sometimes you just got to Bonecrush face. Feels good. What can I say? All right, we're going to Heart's Desire there, and then we're going to be able to jam the Lovestruck Beast next turn. Grafdiggers also does not impact what I'm doing. Creature cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players playing cast spells from graveyards or libraries. Yeah. Fight Rigging is playing the card from exile, so that doesn't impact it, and they scoop it up. Okay. Kazuul's Fury is a land. So we can throw Kazuul's Fury on 1, Kazuul's Fury on 2. Overgrown Tomb on 3. We got Fight Rigging up. If we draw a third land, we can hit the Nullhide Ferox and go ham. This is a little sketchy. Also, we're going up against somebody named System, because the System is down. Another Homestar reference for anybody out there who knows what the heck I'm talking about. All right, this is a sketchy keep. I should have learned my lesson already, but we're going for it. And again, I'm hoping our opponent makes us discard something. Arbor Grazer, not looking like that's likely here. Untap green land. An untap green land. That'd be nice. A green land. I'd like a green land. That's something that requires a green land. I mean, that's close. Kinda. All right. So next turn, we do chalk in the Overgrown Tomb. We get our fight rigging. It's not nothing. It's not nothing. Also, I've noticed that as of recently, I have become a massive Timmy gamer. I have just wanted all my stuff to be big. I want to just do big damage. It's a land. It's a land. I did ask for a land. Do we blast these? Because that Lotus Cobra makes me nervous. I think I let it go unchecked for one turn. I may regret that decision. Fight rigging. Grabbing nothing. Wow. We have 4 lands that would be great to draw in a Bonecrusher Giant. Lousy luck. Absolutely lousy. I guess we take Bonecrusher. I guess. Not happy about this. I mean, that said, if we can hit an untapped green source next turn, get Nullhide Ferox online, and get the Bonecrusher Giant, then we have a 2-mana Ghalta next. Like, we're not out of this yet. We're not out of the woods yet. Omnath, naturally. And Lotus Cobra chipping in. Sure. Yep, this sucks diddly Ux Flanders. Alright, we anger. It doesn't get rid of Omnath, unfortunately, but at least we get rid of the Lotus Cobra. But yeah, I just want all my spells to be really big and stupid these days. That's just where I'm at. And I'm not sorry. You know, I'm having a lot of fun with it. So if we need to just jam Keruga, actually we can't, because Keruga requires 2 green sources because we don't have blue in this deck. This is we're having mana problems. We got mana problems. We got mana problems, y'all. I don't appreciate this. If we can pull this out, I'm going to be really excited. Overgrown Tomb, that'll do. Nullhide Ferox, let's go. All right, we had a little bit of a stutter there. We started a little bit slow, but now all of a sudden we got 11 power on board. And again, 2-mana Ghalta next. Pretty cool with that. And our opponent may not know how to jam with the Nullhide Ferox, because they can kill it if they have targeted removal in that deck. But if they're dependent on damage, 7 damage is a lot, so that's nice. That said, Omnath's ability can deal just 4 damage to us, so if they can get some land loops going, we could be in trouble. Another Lotus Cobra, very nice. It's my turn. Let me do it. All right, we got 2-mana Ghalta. I like 2-mana Ghalta. Ghalta's nice. We can also blow up that Lotus Cobra, which is nice. Again, just nice. I like nice things. We can also jam Keruga here. Keruga here leaves 1 mana up. You know what? We'll swing first. Okay, here comes Ghalta. Boom! I'm actually really nervous here. They have another Omnath. That's going to draw them a card. That's basically cycling for 4. They need to get some kind of way to drop multiple lands, otherwise they're kind of sunk. Yes! Got him! Woo! Okay. Bad mana in the early game. Was able to pull out just enough power to overwhelm them in the late game. You'll love to see it. That was awesome. All right, let's go on to one more game. I see three good lands and some good early plays. This looks like a rock and keep, actually. And we're on the draw, so the opportunity to draw into a fight rigging is there. Because that's the only thing this hand is missing is a fight rigging. If we can get our hands on a rigging early, I mean, this is this is just cash money. And even if we can't, we still have access to a cheap Ghalta pretty fast, so I'm good with this. Probably didn't need to shock that in, but it's all good. Yeah, could have waited, played it on turn 2, but what's the fun in that? I like to live dangerously. I like to give spot my opponent a couple life points. Make it fair, you know. Give him a chance. Got Goro chipping in Goldhound. Good stuff. Good stuff. This time it is going to enter tapped. Not going to attack into a 2/2. That seems like a poor decision. And don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of poor decisions. That one, maybe not. So next turn, I think we jam a Shakedown Heavy. We do have access to the Lovestruck Beast as well, which is just good. Thundering Raiju. Do I need to roll my R's like that? Absolutely not. Do I choose to? Oh, you better believe I do. Alright. I'm gonna lose that little homie. Oh, Anger of the Gods. Brilliant draw. Let's go. Boom. Keep that board nice and squeaky clean. Thundering Raiju. Crashing is a 4/4 yet again. Fair enough. Lovestruck Beast does have an opportunity to just completely stonewall this thing, so that's exactly what we're going to do here. Boom. Well, actually, it'll trade next turn. But to be honest, we're trading a 3-drop for a 4-drop. I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. Kargan Intimidator and a Rabbit Battery. Okay, all right, okay. Okay, Derry, okay, all right, okay, all right, okay. They can jam here, buff the Kargan Intimidator into a 5/3. Ooh, they're whatever they attack, they're gonna lose. Whatever they swing with, they are gonna lose. And they see that, they know. And we're gonna follow up with a 6/6, so they don't know that. But like they know, yeah, it would a swing there would have been risky. It may have been the right move, to be fair, but it would have been very risky. All right, here comes the Nullhide Ferox. Man, that thing looks so gumpy, and that like it's like a weird bucktooth bear of some kind. I'm totally here for it. Resk already has haste, dog. Already has haste. All right, so we draw a card into exile. That's a land. That's fine. I'll play a land from exile. That works. Ghalta? Question mark? Shakedown Heavy? Question mark? Ferox crashing in. 6/6. Face? Knowing Ghalta's coming? Actually, I want the Raiju gone. So, alright. They're going to kill my Ferox. Mildly frustrating, but not the end of the world. Get an Ogre Head Helm. I'm not too worried about that. Not too worried about that. And if we can get our hands on a fight rigging or another land for Ziatora, I mean, we could just end the game next turn, potentially. Depending on what we draw. If we can get Ziatora down, it's going to be bad news for our opponent. Very bad news, which is cool by me. Blood Crypt. The Crypt of Blood. Do we shock it? Nah, I think I'm gonna... we're running low on life. I'm not liking this. Not liking this one bit. No, actually, wait a minute. Had we shocked that in, I think we may have been able to win here. Alright, I may have screwed up there. Got the Shakedown. Actually, knowing that they were going to take that, yeah, shocking that in would have won this the game because we would have gotten a Ziatora Fling. Without the Raiju, they're not able to deal direct damage to our face. They do have the face breaker for Menace. They're doing some combat math here. And as the blocker, I'm the one who should be doing the combat math because math, as we all know, is for blockers. Yeah, I was playing it too close to the vest there. I should have been more aggressive. I think we're still fine. We still have this because they need to be ready for the crackback unless they can end it this turn. And I don't think they have that. We got 3 blockers. They have 3 attackers. Granted, they have 1 with Menace. So We're gonna take one hit from something. Just a question of what. Kargan Intimidator can buff itself. They can also give the professional Facebreaker trample because the Facebreaker is a warrior, notably. It's 9 power blocking. Is that good, or should I put... I think I'll put both heavies in front of it, actually. Let's try this. See what happens. They give it trample, but we got 8 toughness here. Yeah, we lose 1 heavy, which was to be expected. They're doing the math. I think we got this. Bone Crush. That's just nice to have, but no, this is Ziatora. Boom. And we're going to end this in the way that I want to. Check this out. Sacrifice Ghalta for a fling to the face. Boom. Got him. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button below. It would mean the world. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to grow the YouTube channel, and that is one metric that YouTube cares about and helps feed the algorithm. So I'd appreciate that very, very much. You can also catch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/hamhawks42. I stream over there Monday through Friday playing weird janky brews, not unlike this one. This was actually a creation that we put together on stream, inspired by a deck that my buddy Grape Window Licker put together. So yeah, huge shout out to Grape. Thank you for that. And yeah, so if you want to see more decks like this, please check us out over on twitch.tv/hamhawks42. Thank you so much. Have a phenomenal day, and I'll catch you on the next one.